Hello, it's so wonderful to be here today. My name is Frankie and I'm the VP of Sales and Customer Success here at Prolific. My team and I have the great pleasure of working closely with our researcher customers who use Prolific to find vetted research participants and AI taskers at scale. And I'm here with one such very lovely customer today, Petra from Shovels. Hello, Petra.
Hello.
Would you care to introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about what you do at Shovels?
Yeah, sure. And really happy to be here also. So I'm a data engineer at Shovels. I have a background in mathematics, and I started my career at CLDMB, also as a data engineer. And then I spent a few years there, and then joined Shovels last year. At Shovels, I work at building scalable ETL pipelines for processing hundreds of millions of records monthly from thousands of different sources.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here with us today. We're really looking forward to digging into this research and just learning a little bit more about Shovels. And perhaps that's the best place to start with just a bit of background. So yeah, tell us a little bit about who Shovels are.
Yeah, so Shovels is an intelligence platform for building, development, and construction industry. We saw an opportunity to build modern data infrastructure for transforming the permit data sets and to making it easy to use and to integrate. We are a small team of only 4. We are based in San Francisco, and we are really happy to be backed by some of the top VCs and angels there.
Wonderful. And I've heard that the construction industry is an industry where the application of technology and particularly of AI represent just absolutely huge opportunities. So tell us a little bit about how the technology you're developing at Shovels has the potential to make a difference in that industry.
Yeah, so during our research in the construction industry, we actually saw a significant opportunity to use the knowledge and insights from the building permits and the data that it could offer. But the problem is that the permit data is really messy, it's inconsistent and incomplete. Almost every jurisdiction in the US has its own permitting system with different schemas, different permitting requirements, and so on. And there are thousands and thousands of jurisdictions. So we address this problem by bringing all this scattered data into one uniform data model and aggregate all the auxiliary information that we can take out from these permit data sets. For example, contractor information. One major challenge that we are addressing that we are solving are the addresses on permits, which are manually filled by applicants and often contain errors. So what we do is normalize this data in accordance with the USPS standards. We validate it with external data sets and also enrich it with coordinates so that our clients can search by geolocation. And we use large language models to tag our permits. We also use it for named entity recognition in our contractors data set. And we also see the opportunity to use these models to kind of create a clearer permit description, as these are often free-form fields, which contain unclear text. Additionally, we plan to build AI models that could predict approval or construction duration for the permits being filled in.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, we try to innovate in our approaches for data cleaning and kind of move beyond the regular and old methods in order to provide a more intelligent solution.
Wonderful. Lots of opportunity in that industry. But also I'm aware that the climate tech industry is using Shovels technology as well. What kind of opportunities for impact do you see there?
Yeah, exactly. So climate tech, so actually companies in the energy and sustainability sectors were among our first customers, and they remain among our largest and most engaged customers today also. For example, how they use Shovels is to identify homeowners who are likely to purchase building electrification equipment. They can also leverage our contractors data set to find qualified contractors and installers for services such as electrical panel upgrades or similar. So yeah, to sum up, by looking at the building permit histories of homeowners, of building owners, of contractors, Shovels can help climate tech companies target and match buyers with the installers.
Wow. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity there and a huge amount of data engineering effort required in order to maximize that opportunity. And of course, you yourself are deeply involved in developing the technology that underpins that opportunity, which is how the conversation with Prolific all began. So I guess, what was it for you that first highlighted the need for specialist labeling to support your product development?
Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, we use LLMs to tag our permits, and I would like just to provide some additional background what this process is actually. So permit data often includes the type and subtype, but these classifications vary widely across the US, and they are also missing in around 50% of the permits that we encounter. But our customers often need permits of a specific type. So we decided that we need to develop a system to tag our permits based on the kind of job they describe. And we come up with 30 different tags to apply on our permits. And just to mention a few examples, there's like new construction, additional dwelling units, solar panels, roofing, remodeling, HVAC, and more. And we decided to use LLMs to generate tags based on this permit description. Initially, this seemed like a straightforward task, but because the data is messy and the descriptions are unclear, it turned out to be a challenge. And at Chavos, we are really committed to producing high quality data. So in this sense, we recognize the vast potential of AI, but we are also aware of its limitations, such as like the tendency to hallucinate, because this could result in low quality data if not used like in a smart way. And to ensure that this doesn't happen, we agreed to set up like a rigorous process to validate our tags before exposing this LLM generated data to our customers. And this involved having specialists label a sample data set to create, we call it a golden data set for AI validation. And this approach actually like allows us to maintain these high standards for our data quality and provide reliable and accurate data to our customers.
And that's what we've been working on together. So you've been using Prolific to find these kind of specialist labelers to label all of those building permits. I guess talk to me a little bit about how you set that up on Prolific and what your experience has been like.
Yeah, so exactly. That's where the Prolific came in. So first, our goal was to kind of create like few reliable data sets. The first one to use to adjust the LLM, to kind of train the LLM to follow our guidelines. And then the second one to validate the results. And the main emphasis the main emphasis was to find the best people for the job, as this data set would become our benchmark for the LLM accuracy. So it really needed to be precise. The Prolific actually was a great choice. It made a significant difference for us because we easily find participants who were vetted and also experienced in the specific industry that we needed. We specifically looked for individuals in the construction industry with at least 100 similar questionnaires solved. And with also really high approval rate of more than 98%, I think. That actually turned out to be great. We integrated Prolific with the Argilla server, which is like an open source platform for labeling and monitoring data for NLP projects. And then like another really big advantage of Prolific that we saw was its scalability. So it was setting up like multiple studies and finding numerous participants was easy and straightforward. And the speed with which participants were solving the surveys that we gave them was really impressive also. And then like in our scenario, we had 30 different tech categories. So we need to ensure that our golden data set includes sufficient examples of each of those categories, which required a really large data set. So this scalability was really a key factor for us. So the Prolific platform did all of that really, really great.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so pleased to hear. And exactly as you say, we hear this from so many customers. In order to provide that really accurate input when labeling building permits, in your case, you need to access real humans with real expertise. And specifically in your case, people who have work experience in the construction industry or people with engineering degrees. So before you used Prolific, how hard was it for you to find those really specialized, high quality participants to do these kind of labeling tasks?
Yeah, so we initially tried a different data annotation platform, but it didn't really work well. So the results were poor. And I think the majority of responses were like bot generated and from a low quality bots, actually. So yeah, that didn't work out. So finding Prolific was a relief for us because yeah, it just allowed us to quickly access high quality specialized workers.
And how did you go about measuring the accuracy of the labels provided by those experts that you'd sourced on Prolific?
Okay, so yeah, that's a great question. So we had each permit actually. So like each of our questions was labeled by multiple experts. And then we analyzed the variances between their responses. And interestingly, in our first study, in our initial study, we found that we found significant discrepancies between their responses. But then that was like a signal for us that our tags were unclear. So we went back, consulted with our advisors who are like industry specialists, and we come up with a redefined set of tags. And then the following studies were much more successful, and we improved the consistency between the labelers. So that's why we knew that like the accuracy of the label is high.
And we hear this a lot, this kind of supporting the iterative process is a huge benefit of using Prolific. Were there any other specific features or aspects of Prolific that really supported this work?
Well, as I said, scalability was one of them. Easy access to really high-skilled workers was another one. And I would also like to say that it was really good to like work with your team because they were really fast to respond on all of our questions. And yeah, we really enjoyed this process. And we will use Prolific for our future validations for sure.
Oh, we're very pleased. This will not be the last conversation we have by any means as Shovels grows. And then this is the most exciting part. It's the best part that my team gets to speak to all of our customers about is the impact that Prolific is having on your product development and on your customers. So, are there any results or findings from this research that you did that you can share with us that's having a real impact on Shovels and on your customers?
Yeah, well, this like the LLM generated tags will really make a difference for us. It will enable us just to classify all of our permits to like correct categories and enable our clients to find more insights.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Petra, for walking us through that research. It's been absolutely fascinating. I'm really excited to see what Shovels can do to make a difference in the construction and climate and energy and sustainability industries. There's so much opportunity ahead of you, and we're really excited to have played a small part in that. So thank you so much for being here with us today. And thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you.